I believe that my work in creating International House is a terrific training ground for another professional role that I have, which is the CEO of the New Orleans Building Corporation, part of city government, in charge of some of the city's major real estate holdings. And I believe what you're seeing right before your eyes is the transformation of New Orleans into America's boutique city. And I don't mean to be to use a hackneyed expression or to trivialize that in any way. I just mean that it's a special place. It stands for something. It is greatly admired, and it has a voice, an unapologetic voice. And people respond to that authenticity. And so what has happened over the last 200 years, quite prosperous, quite a player in the national dialogue, architecture and writing and even river commerce, certainly culinarily, all of these different areas. But it has rested on its laurels for the last 70-odd years, maybe 80 years. And what I am seeing right now is, and we're helping with this big time, is that that there's a focus on areas where New Orleans has a compelling competitive advantage. So in the culinary arts, in music, in film, in architecture, and with this riverfront that we're going to reinvent shortly. And all of it ties back. I mean, the syllogism is kind of this. It all ties back to quality of life and this creative culture of invention, to use that expression again. And it's the same thing that makes someone want to travel here is the same thing that makes someone in the creative professions want to live here, raise a family here, ply their craft here. My task with the riverfront is to take this old industrial waterway and these old cargo sheds in a very parallel way, that we take an old building that was vacant, that used to be this great World Trade Center, and hire some of the best talent in the world, challenge them to create one of the best waterfronts in the world, and to then step into a familiar role, which for me is just to be the editor-in-chief, the guardian of the idea, and make sure that we are harnessing the power of design to authentically express this place, this very, this signature sense of place, but to do it of a new time, and to signal that there is a new Orleans, and to confidently step onto that national stage and contribute once again meaningful buildings, meaningful landscape, meaningful design to the global conversation, if you will. I'm convinced that reinventing the Crescent, this riverfront, is the most important physical addition to the city since the French Quarter. It's the most powerful economic development tool that we can invest in, and it's fundamentally because New Orleans, like other cities, but New Orleans in particular, must realize that we're in the quality of life business, and that design can accentuate that quality of life quite dramatically. So see it in this context. Our work is to do this. In the 19th century, this was an Afro-Caribbean European city, port economy, and St. Louis Cathedral was the architectural icon. In the 20th century, it was a resource-based economy, oil, gas, minerals, tourism, and the Superdome here, became the architectural icon. So as we move rapidly in the early part of the 21st century, and as we reinvent this city for it. The city is emerging as an entrepreneurial and artisan-based economy, in effect a creative culture of invention once again, and I am 100% convinced that the riverfront and perhaps one or a few buildings on it will be the architectural icon of this century.